It's the 29th of June 2026. This is a brand new edition of Newsfirst Primetime News coming to you live and direct from our Newsfirst studios in Colombo. Bringing you tonight's bulletin for the Newsfirst team. I am Jayama Ratnapura.
And I'm Anilka Amarathanga.
Today marks the historic day on which the arrival of Arahat Mahinda Thera set in motion the shaping of Sri Lankan civilization.
It was on a day like today, many centuries ago, where the arrival of Buddhism in the island took place, permanently shaping Sri Lanka's spiritual and cultural heritage.
In commemoration of Poson Day and the Poson Festival, the Maharaja Media Network organized a series of events across 3 sacred sites in the country, actively engaging the youth under the Sirasa Ruhunu Maya Poson Puja religious program.
These Poson Day programs held in Ambalanthota, Ratnapura and Matala drew large gatherings of devotees from across the island.
Before we take a detailed look into these enriching programs, let's first turn our attention to tonight's headlines.
Religious observances held across the island commemorating Poson Poya, which marked the arrival of Arahat Mahinda Thera in Sri Lanka. Sirasa Ruhunumaya Poson Puja program held at 3 sacred sites in multiple parts of the island. Deadline for public officials to submit their asset and liability declarations without incurring fines expires tomorrow. Number of dengue cases surpasses 53,000. Met Department issues weather advisory for strong winds and rough seas. No plans for direct talks with the US, says Iran.
Tonight, we first turn our attention to Ratnapura in south-central Sri Lanka. The unveiling of a radiant pandal, also known as the Torana, which is a hallmark of significant Buddhist days, situated at the Minipura Poson Zone grounds, took place early this evening.
This pandal depicts the Sumanamala Karajatakiya, which depicts the story of a previous birth of Gautama Buddha.
I'm here at the Sirasa Ruhunu Poson Puja, which is underway at the Angiras International Buddhist Center in Matala. Now, a special lineup of SIL programs, meditation programs centering around the theme Focused Mindfulness underwent here at the Angiras International Buddhist Center in Matala. Now, also, a few days ago, sacred items were enshrined within the chambers of the Buduguna Mahasaya, which is behind me. So, devotees are gathering around here to witness and worship and to witness the Poson zone that is currently underway here at the Angirasa International Buddhist Center as well. So, devotees can witness the spirit of Poson that is here at the Angirasa International Buddhist Center until the 3rd of July. And reporting to you the latest from the Angiras International Buddhist Center. For the Newsfirst team, I am Vihara.
The Sirasa Ruhunu Maya Poson Puja religious program deemed Satimat Samadhiya or mindful concentration commenced this morning at the Matala International Sri Angirasa Buddhist Center, situated in the Hambantota district deep down south in Sri Lanka. The special program for Poson began with the observance of SIL, which is an important religious practice in Buddhism, representing a day devoted to spiritual reflection, moral discipline, and mindfulness. A Kiryahara Puja, or a religious offering of milk-based foods, was also held this morning, led by the chief incumbent of the Sri Pushparama Vihara in Deniyaya, Venerable Urubukke Upananda Thera. A series of religious activities, including Dhamma programs aimed to foster Buddhist principles amongst the youth, a segment named Pansil Malwa, rooted in religious discourse, and Sirasa Damsara were held thereafter. A Sambuddha Puja, or a devotional ceremony or offering dedicated to the Buddha, was also conducted at noon. Group Director of the Capital Maharaja Group, Shevan Daniel, Chief Executive Officer of MTV, Yasarat Kamalsiri, Director of News at Newsfirst, Gayan Sampat Somachandra, and other senior representatives were present at this occasion. The Turnusita program was held this evening. It aimed to instill Buddhist values and principles within Sri Lanka's younger generations.
ජීවිතයේ තමන්ට තියෙන දේවල් වලට සතුටු වෙන්න පුරුදු වුණොත් තමන්ට තියෙන හැටියට සතුටු වෙන්න පුළුවන් වුණොත් ඒක හිතට පුරුදු කරගෙන සතුටු වෙන්න අපි මහන්සි ගත්තොත් අපිට ජීවිතයේ දේවල් නැහැ කියලා දුක් වෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ.
The opening of the Ruhunu Katragama Devalaya at the International Sri Angirasa Buddhist Centre also took place today with the participation of Chief Executive Officer of MTV, Yasarat Kamalsiri, Newsfirst Channel Head, Suranga Senanayaka, and Director of Sirasa TV, Dharmashri Ekanayaka.
Katragama Devalaya පිහිටා තිබෙන්නේ උන්වහන්සේගේ අඩවියේ දැන් මේ කතරගම දේව ප්‍රතිමාව ඉතාමත්ම හොඳින් ඔබට නිරීක්ෂණය වනවා.
Devotees have also been granted the meritorious opportunity to place offerings within the chamber of the Angirasa Buduguna Mahasaya. Devotees can place the offerings from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. until the 3rd of July. Numerous religious activities including almsgivings, precept observances and meditation programs had been organized throughout the day.
I'm here at the historic Ramba Rajamahawihara in Ambalangtota as part of the Sirasa Ruhunu Maya Poson zone. Now, throughout the day, there were many religious activities that were carried out here at this historic temple. And one of the most special moments was the exposition of the sacred Sarvanya relics, where many devotees came together to pay their respect and receive blessings. Now, a highlight of today's Poson activities was that among the number of devotees that arrived here at the Ramba Vihara, there were a significant amount of youth who helped the day's activities from the morning up until this very moment, making and keeping the spirit of Poson alive. I'm Omitra Abekon reporting to you for Newsfirst.
The historic Ramba Rajamahawihara in Ambalangtota, nestled in the Hambantota district of Sri Lanka's southern province, stands as a site of profound spiritual significance, as it was once home to 12,000 Arahanta Theras in centuries past. This sacred ground now serves as another vibrant venue for the Sirasa Ruhunu Maya Poson Puja, with the Damsavya Poson zone unfolding around this historic institution. This year's Poet Day program carries the theme Samma Sati for the youth, emphasizing right mindfulness, attention and awareness among the younger generation. True to this theme, a large gathering of young men and women turned out to take part in the religious activities, reflecting the program's resonance with Sri Lanka's youth. Venerable Varayaya Samhita Thera administered the precepts to the assembled devotees, after which the traditional milk rice offering and morning almsgiving were conducted with due reverence. The Dhamma discussion commenced with the arrival of Venerable Sagama Anobadasi Thera, drawing devotees into reflection and spiritual discourse. Earlier in the morning, a solemn procession bore the sacred relics to the Vihara, where they were ceremonially enshrined amid a Pan Puja, which is a sacred offering. These sacred relics were brought specially from the Ambalangoda Chethiya Mahapirivena for this occasion. Group Director and Chief Operating Officer of the Capital Maharaja Group, S.C. Veerasekara, Channel Head of Newsfirst, Surangasena Nayaka, Newsfirst News Director, Gayan Sampath, and other senior officials participated in this occasion. Devotees and members of the public will have the opportunity to venerate the sacred relics until midnight tonight.
The three programs of almsgiving, precepts and meditation form the very foundation of this sacred undertaking. It is therefore my sincere hope that not only the people of this region but also those who have journeyed here from various other provinces to take part in this program will be able to safeguard their mindfulness, nurture and elevate their sila to a meaningful degree and dwell in samadhi throughout this day to their wisdom, so their wisdom may flourish and deepen. May the triple gem bless you all.
ප්‍රඥාව වඩා ගන්නා දවසක් බවට පත් වේවායි මම ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා. තෙරුවන් සරණයි.
අපිට වගකීමක් තියෙනවා විශේෂයෙන්ම රටේ තරුණ ප්‍රජාව වෙනුවෙන්.
We have responsibility, especially towards the youth of this country, to bring the Dhamma closer to them. Therefore, wherever the people are, Sirasa will be there. I believe the Poson Poya Day is a very special occasion and a moment when Buddhism was incorporated into our civilization. The waves built 5,000 to 6,000 years ago still serve our people today. There is nothing like that created by man anywhere else in the world. Therefore, especially as youth, you must think about how those things were achieved. It was through mindfulness which brought discipline and by working hard to achieve everything. I believe the best path to achieve that success is the Dhamma, and we are trying to provide that opportunity to the people.
සාර්ථකත්වය ඇති කර ගන්න මම හිතන්නේ හොඳම මාර්ගය තමයි ධර්මය. ඉතින් ඒ අවස්ථාව ලබා දෙන්න තමයි අපි මේ උත්සාහ කරන්නේ.
Following the Buddha Puja this afternoon, the public exhibition of the sacred relics for veneration commenced. A series of special Dhamma discussions were held under the theme Samma Satya, which refers to right mindfulness, including the Asarimat Dhatu Purana Dhamma discussion. All these religious events were held at the historic Ramba Rajamaha Vihara. The oil lamp offering, along with the offering of Gilanpasa or liquid offerings enriched with 8 flavors, was conducted by Kavya Visharada Venerable Bulgahapitiye Sudhammathera. The Sirasa Minipura Poson Zone was also inaugurated today, following blessings received at the Sabaragamuwa Mahasaman Devalaya. The Poson Zone is being held centering the Ratnapura Sabdharma Lankara Vidyayatana Piribana. The zone featured a range of attractions including pandals, lanterns, puppet shows, bhaktigi and cultural performances. Organized in the vicinity of the Ratnapura Clock Tower, the Sirasa Minipura Poson Zone will be open to the public from today until the 5th of July. A procession showcasing many cultural traditions unique to the Sabaragamuwa province also paraded through the streets of Ratnapura this evening in view of the Poson Poya Day.
The National Poson Festival is being held centered around historic Mindfulness sacred grounds, the Anuradhapura Attamastana and the Tantri Malay Rajamaha Vihara.
A vast number of people are already arriving on Anuradhapura, and it is expected that over 1.5 million devotees will visit Anuradhapura this year.
In conjunction with the Poson Full Moon Poya Day, the historic Mihintale Mihindu Perahara paraded the streets last night. Today, the sacred grounds of Mihintale was filled with devotees from across the island. A bhaktigi or a devotional song showcase organized by the Sri Lanka Police was held last night opposite the Ruanveli Mahasaya. Inspector General of Police, Attorney at Law Priyantha Veerasurya was also present at the event. Devotees and attendees from all corners of the island are arriving at temples and sacred sites, including the Ruanveli Mahasaya, Jayasri Mahabodhi and the Polonnarua Galviharaya.
Devotees across the island engaged in various acts of physical and spiritual offerings to mark the Poson Full Moon Poya Day. The Deolapitiya Poson Perahara, named the Ambudu Vandana, organised by the Deolapitiya Shasana Rakshaka Balamandalaya, took to the streets last night following the placement of the casket containing relics of Pulasi, the sacred tusker, which was part of the fleet of tuskers of the Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya and Minister of Foreign Affairs Vijitha Herath, along with several other ministers, were among those who attended the event. The annual Poson procession of the Dorape Sri Paramananda Temple was held last night for the 96th consecutive year. The procession was organised under the guidance of the chief incumbent of Dorape Sri Paramananda Vihara, Venerable Hapugala Sivali Thera, with the support of the Temple Trustee Council. The Siri Tisarana Dharmayathanam in Mavithara held a sacred ceremony yesterday to enshrine sacred relics in the newly built shrine chamber of the Aukana replica Buddha statue, along with the installation of the pinnacle of the relic chamber. The Sarvagna relics were also displayed for public veneration and exposition. A Poson Bhaktigi program was held at Madakumbura Parakrama School in Kotmale. Meanwhile, the Sila Paramita program, organised for the 7th consecutive year by the Arunoda Development Foundation, was held at the sacred precincts of the Ronveli Mahasaya in Anuradhapura, drawing more than 500 devotees from across the country. The program was organised under the leadership of the chairman of Arunoda Development Foundation, Saman Pushpakumara. The Araliya Kiri Samba fried rice dansala was held today opposite the Polonnarua Galviharaya entrance. The noodles dansala, organised by the Matala Air Force Base, was held today at the entrance to the Matala Airport. The Indira Cancer Trust had organised a hair donation dansala. This was organised to prepare and provide artificial wigs for cancer patients. The hot dog dansala, organised for the 8th time by the 1998 O-Level and 2001 A-Level past pupils of Veyangoda Bandar Nayaka Central College, was held today. It took place in the centre of Veyangoda town. The rice dansala, organised for the 20th time by the youth of Siamlagoda Polgas Ovita in collaboration with the villagers, commenced this evening. It was held at the Siamlagoda junction. The dansala will continue tonight as well. A fried rice dansala was organised for the 15th time by the youth and villagers of Galabandihena in Vataraka. A rice dansala was held in Palavatta area, where alms were offered to 200 still observing women. The rice dansala, organised for the 2nd time by the Ekamutu Miturukala of Dehigahavala, Bombuala and Kalutara, was held today. The ice cream dansala, organised for the 2nd time by the Serupita Ekamutu Women's Society, was held today. It took place in front of the Serupita Ekamutu Women's Society Hall. The youth of the 15-acre area in Bombula Kalutaro also held a milk rice dansala. A medicinal herbal porridge dansala, organised by youth, was held today at the Galpatha Junction in Horana. A complimentary beauty services dansala was held today in Buralla. A rice dansala was held in the Yagoda area in Gampaha.
Weather.
The Department of Meteorology has issued an advisory for strong winds and rough seas.
Chuad Abdin brings you more details on the advisories and the latest weather update. Chuad?
Thank you, Anilka. Thank you, Jamal. Now, with the long weekend coming to an end, attention is also being turned towards the weather forecast in the country. Well, what do the experts have to say now? The Natural Hazards Early Warning Center of the Department of Meteorology issued an advisory regarding strong winds and rough seas for the sea areas extending from Kankasanture to Potwil via Mana, Colombo, Gaul and Hambantota. At the same time, strong gusty winds up to 50 to 60 kilometers per hour can be expected in the sea areas extending from Kankasanture to Potwil via Mana, Colombo, Gaul and Hambantota. The department, through the advisory, has informed naval and fishing communities to be vigilant and be attentive to future forecasts issued by the Department of Meteorology in this regard. Now, something that has also been raising concerns along with these prevailing weather conditions is the rapid rise in the number of dengue cases. The number of dengue cases reported island-wide has topped the 53,000 mark. According to the National Dengue Eradication Unit, the approximate number of dengue patients stands at 53,159. The unit further stated that 19,318 dengue patients have been reported between the 1st and the 29th of June, while 31 dengue-related deaths have also occurred.
Weather first.
News First.
Main sponsor.
2 countries, 2 degrees with
රුහුණු මායා පුසුන් පූජා 12,000ක් මහරහතන් වහන්සේලා වැඩවිසූ කිරුවාපත්තුවේ ඓතිහාසික රම්බා විහාරයේ පැවැත්වෙන Sirasa රුහුණු Newsfirst, Sloan.
Welcome back to the news. The Delft Island is an island rich in historical treasures located in the Pork Strait west of the Jaffna Peninsula in the Sea of Sri Lanka. Its unique and natural beauty and remnants of the colonial era have made it a historically significant tourist destination.
Delft Island, a land where natural beauty and historical background come together, shines with many specialities. Nidantivu as its original name, however called Delft by the Dutch, this island is the largest in area among the islands in the northern part of Sri Lanka. In this land where we step after crossing the sea, surprises welcome us at every turn. The primary symbol of the Delft Island is the wild horses brought here during the Dutch colonial era, which roam freely in the forests to this day. The descendants of the horses brought here during the Portuguese and Dutch rule still roam this island today as its indigenous inhabitants and a symbol of freedom. The 1,846 hectare land area of this island has been declared the Delft National Park, and these horses are being protected by the Department of Wildlife Conservation. The massive baobab tree, believed to have been planted in the island by Arab merchants in the 16th century, stands as a wonder gifted by nature to the island. On the southeastern shore of the Delft Island, the Queen's Tower stands majestically facing the blue sea. It is a notable feature that this lighthouse, built during the Dutch period, is still spoken of today as having been used to guide ships at that time. From the ruins of the Coral Fort, the Growing Stone, the giant footprint, and the Pigeon Loft Tower believed to have been used by the Dutch for communication, every inch of the Delft Island is a page of history. For those who wish to escape the noise of the modern world and live happily for a few hours in the lap of history, the Delft Island is certainly a paradise.
Popular singer Rukman Asitha has passed away at the age of 48. Rukman Asitha, who had been receiving medical treatment for an extended period, passed away early this morning at the National Hospital in Colombo.
Rukman Asitha entered the music industry through Sirasa Superstar Season 2. Having captured everyone's attention during the competition, he earned his place among the top 12 finalists. Throughout his singing career, which began then, the songs Adari Mahasundari Kiya and Udehava Dakinava became immensely popular among fans in the country. As a character who was indispensable to the concert stage, the memories he left behind on the stage will forever remain indelible in our hearts.
Pope Leo has accepted the resignation of Bishop Justin Bernard Janaprakasam as head of the Diocese of Jaffna, the Apostolic Nunciature in Sri Lanka announced today. The Holy Father has appointed Most Reverend Dr. Pillanayagam Anton Ranjit as the new Bishop of Jaffna. Dr. Ranjit currently serves as the Auxiliary Bishop of the Archdiocese of Colombo and Apostolic Administrator of the Diocese of Batticaloa. The announcement was made by the Apostolic Nunciature, the Vatican's diplomatic mission in Sri Lanka.
Watch the FIFA World Cup live, where the best football teams in the world compete. Live match.
Ruhunu Maya Poson Puja.
දොළොස් දහසක් මහරහතන් වහන්සේලා වැඩවිසූ කිරුවාපත්තුවේ ඓතිහාසික රම්බා විහාරයේ පැවැත්වෙන සිරස රුහුණු මායා පොසොන් පූජා.
A US official said on Sunday that Iran and the United States agreed to halt recent hostilities in the Gulf and renew talks regarding their dispute over the Strait of Hormuz, raising hopes of saving an interim peace deal that was under pressure from days of tit-for-tat strikes.
Referring to the 14-point Memorandum of Understanding that was agreed on June 17th, the official said technical talks are slated to continue on all areas of the Memorandum of Understanding. Both sides will stand down for now and vessels can move freely. Terry Karunaratna brings us more. Terry?
Thank you very much, Shanelka and Shaimal. Well, the agreements to halt attacks between the two countries have also impacted the global oil market, as oil prices steadied today as Middle East producers pushed ahead with loading oil and liquefied natural gas despite fresh ship attacks. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump says a meeting with Iran will be held in Qatar's capital on Tuesday after Tehran asked for talks. Trump wrote on his social media platform Truth Social in all caps, and I quote, "Iran has requested a meeting. It will take place tomorrow in Doha," unquote. Now, earlier, Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister Kazem Garibabadi said there are no planned meetings with US officials from technical teams in Qatar this week. A return to diplomacy would follow several days of strikes and counter-strikes since an Iranian projectile hit a cargo vessel in the Strait of Hormuz on Thursday, with both the US and Iran accusing the other of breaking an interim ceasefire that was agreed to on the 17th of June. Let's take a look at more details.
Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian announced that $6 billion of Iran's frozen assets will be released and returned through Qatar, and confirmed that oil and petrochemical sanctions have been lifted under the peace deal, which he called a great victory for the Iranian people. Speaking during a visit to Qom, where he met Grand Ayatollah Shobheri Zanjani, Pezeshkian said the $6 billion is part of the total $12 billion in Iranian funds held in Qatar, with follow-up underway for the return of the remaining portion. The release of the funds and the sanctions relief were part of the framework agreed at the Switzerland talks and the Islamabad MOU. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, in the Iraqi capital for consultations with senior officials, met Iraq's top security official Qasim al-Abadi to discuss bilateral cooperation, particularly on security. The Iranian Foreign Minister congratulated Iraq on its new government and briefed al-Abadi on regional security developments following the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding to end the US-Israeli imposed war. On the Strait of Hormuz, the foreign minister said Iran would adopt the necessary measures in line with its responsibilities and under Article 5 of the MOU, cooperate with Oman as a coastal state and consult other regional countries. Oil prices steadied today as Iran and the United States agreed to halt recent hostilities in the Gulf. Brent crude futures were up 4 cents at $72 and 3 cents a barrel by this morning. US West Texas Intermediate crude gained 44 cents to $69 and 67 cents.
Shifting your attention to the continent of South America, now rescue teams raced on Sunday to find most survivors of the two powerful earthquakes that struck Venezuela this week, with signs of life bringing occasional relief to a grim quest to whittle down a list of tens of thousands missing. The death toll from Wednesday's twin earthquakes neared 1,500 people as foreign rescue teams poured into La Guaira, the hardest hit state of a country long mired in a deep political and economic crisis.
Dozens of buildings collapsed into piles of sand and rubble in the coastal state about 40 kilometers north of Caracas. After announcing a presidential commission that would determine the habitability of buildings, Interim President Delcy Rodriguez said, quote, "Rescue and recovery efforts are ongoing. Today we have recovered people alive and therefore operations are not being suspended. We always maintain hope," end quote. Flanked by several of her ministers, Rodriguez said school classes would be suspended for 1 more week and the electricity supply in La Guaira had been restored to 75%. The government, headed by Rodriguez since her predecessor was ousted by the US in a January raid, had thanked civilian volunteers ferrying aid to La Guaira, but then tightened access to the road, saying traffic was preventing efficient movement of the emergency vehicles. Earlier, Jorge Rodriguez, the acting president's brother and president of the National Assembly, said the death toll rose by 20 people on Sunday to reach 1,450. He added that 3,150 people remained injured, 12,721 had been displaced, and 774 buildings had collapsed.
Meanwhile, the Balkans felt the impact of the record-breaking heat wave that has caused hundreds of excess deaths and disrupted daily life across the continent for more than a week, with growing concerns over the spread of wildfires. Now, there was also a warning that the heat was likely to build again from the start of next week in countries such as France and Germany that bore the brunt over the past few days.
In Croatia, the Weather Service issued a red alert on Monday for regions including the capital Zagreb and the tourist destinations of Split and Dubrovnik. Dozens of firefighters assisted by 4 aircraft battled a wildfire-burning pine forest on the tourist island of Vis in the Adriatic Sea, some 34 miles southwest of Split. In neighboring Serbia, the State Hydrometeorological Service has warned temperatures would reach 39 degrees Celsius on Monday. Further south, Albania contained a wildfire that has consumed many hectares of bushes and olive trees near the southern village of Klos over the weekend. Scientists have said the heatwave, which began on the 20th of June, was the worst recorded in Europe, and the blistering conditions have disrupted power generation, damaged infrastructure, and overwhelmed healthcare systems. France has reported 1,000 excess deaths during the heatwave. The French Public Health Agency said most of the heat-related fatalities involved older people and warned the number was expected to rise. According to scientists, the heatwave would have been virtually impossible without human-caused climate change, which has made this week's soaring nighttime temperatures 100 times more.
5 people have been killed and a number of others wounded in a shooting at a youth welfare center in the northern German city of Stade, according to police. 2 suspects were detained following the shooting on Monday, one of whom is believed to be the alleged shooter. The motive for the shooting, however, is not yet clear. Police said homicides involving multiple victims occurred at a youth welfare facility. They also added 5 people were fatally injured and additional individuals sustained injuries. Police in Stade said a major operation was being conducted on Dankerstrasse, a street that is located south of the city centre. People were urged to avoid the area and follow instructions of the emergency services. Now, Stade is located about 40 kilometers from Hamburg and has a population of about 500,000. The The thrilling round of 32 of the 2026 FIFA World Cup got underway early this morning, with co-hosts Canada and South Africa kicking off the knockout stage. In historic performance, Canada secured a 1-0 victory to advance to the round of 16 for the first time in their football history.
Newsfirst, main sponsor.
රුහුණු මායා පුසුන් පූජා
12,000ක් මහරහතන් වහන්සේලා වැඩවිසූ කිරුවාපත්තුවේ ඓතිහාසික රම්බා විහාරයේ පැවැත්වෙන සිරස රුහුණු මායා පොසොන් පූජා Newsfirst එස්ලෝන් දානසීල භාවනා සමග සතිමත්ව නිවෙමු.
ආමිස ප්‍රතිපත්ති පූජා ප්‍රමුඛ කොටගෙන ජුනි මාස 29 වැනිදා සිට 3 වැනි දින දක්වා පැවැත්වෙන අතර ඉන්දියාවේ බරණැස් නුවරින් ප්‍රදානය කළ සර්වඥ ධාතුන් වැඳ පුදා ගැනීමටද ඔබට අවස්ථාව ලැබෙනු ඇත.
බැති සිතින් ආරාධනා කරන්නෙමු.
පැතිබර දායකත්වය අමා ගඟ ගලාලා සිතේ දුක් නිවේවා.